So, we got Gary Antuanne Russell back again July 30th on the Danny Garcia undercard. We're going to break down that fight and talk about his future at 140 right after this. What's going on, A-Side family? This your boy Truth. Again, that's short for Truth Over Narrative. Hey, listen, man, today we're going to talk some contenders at 140, man. We're going to talk about my boy Gary Antuanne Russell. He's on the Danny Garcia undercard. He's fighting against Rances Barthelemy, the former 130 and 135 champion. So the Cuban guy, right? Two-division world champion. He's looking to become a third-division world champion. He will be the first Cuban ever. Not in this next fight, but I guess, you know, that those are his aspirations at 140. But let's jump into it. Okay, so we got, 26-year-old Gary Antuanne Russell. 15-0, 15 stoppages, all within the distance. And then we got Rances Barthelemy, he's 29, 1-1, 15 knockouts, 37 years old, 5'10". I think he got about a 72-inch wingspan or reach, 72-inch reach. And Gary Russell, I think he got about a 68-inch reach, if I'm not mistaken. Man, listen, I think this is going to be a real good fight, man. I think that my boy Gary Russell going to come to do work. When you talk about Rances Barthelemy, he is what he is. He's a boxer. He's a Cuban. So obviously we know he comes from that pedigree. But, I mean, he's a showman as well, right? A lot of people like to talk about Terrence Crawford and how he'll sometimes allow himself to be dragged into fights. Well, Rances Barthelemy is the same guy. He has been allowed to drag himself into fights, or has dragged himself into exchanges at times in his career. And truthfully, man, we done seen him stink up the joint a couple times too, just being honest with you. I mean, he can move, he got good footwork. Sometimes he'd keep his hands by his waist in exchange with you. I don't know if that's what he wanted to do against Gary Antuanne, but hey, that's his prerogative. Like I said, he is one of those fighters, man. If he get caught with a shot that he don't like, he will exchange with you. And I think that may be the reason that he's going to get knocked out this fight. Okay, we got Gary Antuanne Russell. He's an aggressive inside fighter. I've heard people compare Gary Antuanne to Sean Porter with more power, but I really don't like that comparison. I'm going to go a couple levels above, and I'm going to say that he reminds me somewhat of Aaron Pryor, the Hawk. I mean, just his ferociousness, his willing to, his wanting to be on the inside. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna find routes to the body. He trying to get in there. Point blank, period. So Gary Russell, like I said, aggressive inside fighter. He's bringing that smart pressure, good footwork, downstairs and up. And he like to throw combos to the body. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the point that I'm making is Gary Antuanne Russell, he's going to find a way to get in, right? He's going to find a way to get in. He's going to cut that ring off, and he going to make you work. Gary Antuanne, he going to test your gas tank. He going to test your chin. We going to know if you've been in the gym after you fight Gary Antuanne Russell, man. 15 have tried and 15 have been stopped. Now, like I said, me, I'm truth over narrative. So at the end of the day, when I'm keeping it 100, I do not think that Postol fight should have been stopped. We was late in the 10th. Yes, he caught Postol with a little flurry, but it just seemed like the referee must have had an Uber waiting outside, and he was like, hey, I got to get up out of here, because I 10 times out of 10 in any other fight, that's not a stoppage. But, it is what it is. He put himself in a position and forced the referee's hand and make a call, and the referee made the call, so we got to go with what it is. Like I said, again, I don't think that was a stoppage, but that's neither here nor there. One thing that I will say about Gary Russell that I'm looking for some keys, some improvement on, is I noticed that he'll drop his hands in between punches, especially now, maybe not his jab or maybe not his 1-2, but when he's throwing multiple combination or 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, he likes to drop his hands. So you're taught in boxing, if you're throwing your right hand, then you're gonna transition, defense, defense. You know, sometimes Gary, he'll get a little bit wide and he may just kind of throw his punches. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's so strong. His routes to the body is so efficient. His footwork, I mean, a lot of the leaping pivots and stuff like that, the hopping pivots, man, the dude a beast, man. His footwork is crazy, and he going to get in there and work. I do think that he stops Rances. I want to say mid-rounds. I think he's just going to close the distance. He's just going to be too much. Rances Barthelemy, he's 37 years old. I think he's past his prime. I do think that this is a good test. Somewhat Postal-like. I'm not going to say that Rances is as good as Postal. I don't think so. But I do somewhat think that this match is somewhat of a... It's going to be similar to the Postal fight, except that I know Rances is going to get caught and he's going to want to exchange, and that's probably going to be his undoing. So I'll say that he's probably going to get rid of him in about the 6th or the 7th. Interestingly enough, man, he just had an open workout today at his gym in Capitol Heights, Maryland, not too far from where I live. And I was surprised to hear Gary Russell, you know, talk about wanting to clean out the 140 division and become undisputed, right? That's really what it means when you say you're going to clean out. So, you know, that kind of struck me a little bit. So I said, you know what, let me see where he's at in the rankings. Obviously, in the whatever Bob orders or the WBO rankings, he's not there. Understandable. It is what it is. This is boxing. This is politics. But what struck me odd was that he's 11th in the WBA. So last year, after beating Giovanni Santiago, he was like 5th in the WBA. Like a lot of us, myself included, thought that he was going to be lined up for a title shot. Somehow, after that, he kind of dropped off the rankings in the WBA. But like I said, he's back there now at 11. He's 11th in the IBF. And he's 7th in the WBC. And then so I started to think, and I'm like, well, you know, maybe Gary Antuanne might take the WBC route. So just thinking about that, obviously we know that Sean Zepeda and Jose Ramirez, they're lined up to fight for that vacant WBC title. I think we got Teofimo Lopez in those rankings as well. Sandor Martin, a couple other guys that's above Gary Russell. But I think, man, if Gary Russell has an impressive performance against Rances Barthelemy, obviously Sean Zepeda and Ramirez have to fight. We'll see one of those guys drop down. We'll see Gary Antuanne move up those rankings. And I think that he's gonna be the guy from PBC to press the button. And if a guy from Top Rank has that strap, maybe it'll force the WBC hand to do a purse bid and see what's going on. I doubt that any guys from Top Rank would fight Gary Antuanne Russell, so he might be fighting for a vacant belt. But I do believe that he'll take that WBC route, and we'll see him with that green belt, maybe hopefully before the end of 2023. And that's very interesting. Obviously, Josh Taylor is still the WBO and the IBF champion, but we do know that Subriel Matias and Jeremiah Ponce should be fighting for eliminator in the IBF. We do know that Alberto Puello and Akhmadov, they have a fight for the WBA vacant belt August 20th on the Adrian Broner undercard. So you talking about possibly 3 belts changing hands and becoming and being over on the PBC side. And so now when you think about it like that, it doesn't make the idea of Gary Antuanne Russell cleaning out 140, it don't make it seem so far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? We'll see, man. Like I said, I like Gary Antuanne Russell in this fight. Great pressure fighter. I think he's going to get rid of Rances Barthelemy. We just got to see which Barthelemy comes to the fight, man. If it's the Barthelemy that we seen in the Robert Easter fight, oh my God. It's going to be a stinker. But like I said, with Gary Russell's footwork, with his inside fighting game, I don't think that this fight is going to go 12. I highly doubt that this fight is going to go 12. I say it's going to be a stoppage in around 5 or 6, but that's going to be yet to be seen. Either way, people, this is A-Side Boxing Talk. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And that's all I got for this time, man. We're going to catch you on the other side. We out.